Hello, gorgeous people. Welcome back to the Shameless Romantic. I'm Kat, your demisexual spicy BFF, whose goal is to empower you with more pleasure, banish those inhibitions, uncover intense feelings, and deepen those orgasms. I love you guys so very much. Thank you for being here. I'm just gonna go ahead and jump right in because this is a topic that's super important to me right now, and like a PSA because we are deep in throes of cuffing season. So without further ado, we're about to get real raw and definitely nowhere near vanilla. But before that, just remember to like, subscribe, and follow me. You don't want to miss the conversations here. You want to be able to spread the good word to all of your friends, any coworkers, anybody who might also really resonate with this right now. You know how it is. We girls, we love to spill the tea. We love to talk about it. And it's just like, there's just something about it, like the full debrief when you have like a really weird day or somebody like reaches back out of the blue. This one is all about why men come back. Like, this is something that if you even have had just one past partner, there is a very, very high chance that they're gonna try to weasel their way back into your life. And that's just the reality of dating, because, well, we're gonna dive into a couple different reasons why that happens, but point blank period, just remember that you are awesome and you do got it like that. So hello, this is for you, babe. If you were someone who recently had somebody try to come back in, let's talk about it, right? Let's talk about why this happens. So number one, let's just kind of like set the stage, right? Like, dating is always a very tricky, like a little bit of push and pull, you know, it can get messy. Like, there's just so many things when it comes to two people dating that tend to come up. Like, they say dating somebody, they act as a mirror for you. So it could be like your insecurities, your own kind of like problems, your own habits, like all these things really come to the forefront of your mind when you're dating somebody. And when things don't work out, like, it could end mutually, like you're fine, or it could be really messy, really hard. And no matter what happens, when you think that you could be moving on, you're trying to kind of move past things or whatever, boom, like they just kind of like show back up, right? So this one's just all about the people who have been trying to live on to their life, like just move on, going gradually and gracefully into finding themselves again. And then next thing you know, you get a text or like a DM, like one of those like, hey, how have you been? Like, that's just always how it happens, right? So number one on my radar for this, men have an ego. I don't think that this is really news to anybody, but let's like talk about that, because men with like these really big egos, they really can't handle, or like they just have a very hard time digesting rejection, or just like feeling that somebody doesn't want them. And when, especially if the female ends it in like a male-female relationship, it's just something that really takes a really big hit on them. And it's hard to feel like you're just like not wanted, not desired, especially for somebody that you kind of like felt like, yeah, like I totally have them in the bag, like we're gonna be solid, you know, like maybe I might even be somebody who, not me, but I'm saying like the guys talking like, oh, well, maybe I might think that I'm better than her, or like, you know, she's getting lucky with me, or maybe I could even do better kind of thing. They always just like have that ego about them. So when the female ends it, they don't like that, right? So instead of processing, you know, that hurt and that rejection and like those feelings, those heavy feelings of like, oh man, you know, like I actually lost it, I feel like more often than not, they decide to just like, they want to feel validated by you. And this is also very true, like when you guys break up and then they try to like move on really quickly, and that relationship either fails as well, or just it doesn't really transpire into like a full-blown relationship that they had wanted. They go back to you for like comfort and reassurance that they're still hot, they're still desirable, they're still lovable, like all these things that maybe somebody new might highlight in them, that you always kind of were that safe place to land, always gave them those warm and fuzzy feelings, and you were just like solid, you know what I mean? So, you know, that's just like more of like a, almost like a test to see if they're gonna like actually take you back, right? And I like to stress the fact that your ex is an ex for a reason. There's a reason you guys broke up. There's a reason things didn't work out. Like, there's a reason they might have fumbled you. But at the end of the day, like for those guys who just like, they really are really just into it for that ego trip and that validation, it's enough to try to make them want to reopen the door. Excuse me. But yeah, that one's just like a really big one for me because of the man's sensitive ego. They just want somebody to stroke that ego again. They want to feel better. They want to kind of get back to that place of like, yeah, I'm feeling good. I can get any bad bitch that I want, da da da, because you made them feel that way. So don't give them that peace of mind. Please don't. Number 2 on my list is the grass is not always greener, so they say, in the other pasture, right? So you guys are doing all right. Like, he might be feeling this kind of like, I just don't know, like if she's the one, I think I could do better. Or maybe they even, you know, they find somebody at work or just some sort of other social circle that they might be running into, and they see like another potential match. And then they decide, you know what, let me go ahead, let me try something new. Let me just put this girl who is great to me, does wonderful, and you know, holds it down like that, and then let me try it for this other baddie who, she got a fatter ass and she got bigger tits, right? Like that's usually what men are going after at the end of the day. Or they just make her, or they make him feel very, I don't know, desired, very loved, like that macho man that, I don't know, maybe if you are a high value woman and you're asking him to level up and he's just not comfortable or not ready, or he might have his own like self-esteem kind of thing, and this other female that might be in his new radar is like making him feel like he is great how he is, he's perfect how he is. You know, that's all also a very big thing. They're either going for the looks or they're going for somebody who's not going to be pressuring them to move on and level up themselves. Well, then they realize that they lost something valuable, right? They lost that high value woman who is willing to do what it takes to push her man to be better because she herself wants to be better. Or the girl who isn't obsessed with her looks, or maybe, you know, going out and getting fake tits, fake ass or whatever, and she's just not looking to do that. She's looking to stay real, right? And then these guys are like, oh, well, I'm not as comfortable, or I'm not feeling like as fulfilled. You know, like this new person, this new relationship that they're seeking out, they aren't finding that this is meeting their expectation, right? So what do? Obviously they're gonna come back to you because they're like, I just don't feel like this is it, and I miss you and I'm so much, and like, you know, breakup is just, it was so hard, our relationship was getting so complicated. No. That's when you need to also realize you were the one who was making them feel good, holding them down, being that high value person and like pushing them to be better because you want to be better as a couple. And they're just realizing that they missed out on that opportunity to have you. But I'm going to say this in kind of like an all-inclusive thing. 9 times out of 10, you should not be taking them back. You really should look at this as the opportunity of, they didn't value you or see you where you really are when they met you, but that is their loss. You know, you came to them. I mean, I'm not trying to say that you're exactly where you want to be. You're A1, like you're already like 10 out of 10 in every aspect of your life. But if you are already, you know, coming to a relationship either feeling like you've done a lot of healing or you're already in that healing journey, you are making those like higher, you're making those higher steps in terms of being like a better person and like bettering yourself, you know, career, financially, whatever you're doing, like you're already just taking those steps to being your best self and you're on that track, and this person doesn't see that, then clearly they don't value you, they don't respect you, and they don't see you for the diamond in the rough that you truly are. And you know, when they see that they messed up and they see that, oh, maybe she continues to glow up, maybe she continues to do this, like I die laughing at all of the social media posts that I see out there where people are like, oh, you know, you guys break up and the next thing you know, she's got a doctorate from Harvard. Like, bitches really be glowing up like that. And guys don't understand that sometimes they're the problem and they were the ones that were holding you back from the jump. And isn't it ironic, like when they try to go find something better, they try to find, you know, that greener grass, so to speak, then you might obviously have like that mourning period, but whenever you emerge beautiful, like from the cave of like despair and feeling like woe is me, then you're like, you know what, let me get this bag, let me chase what I've actually been wanting to do now that I had this dead weight off of my shoulders, and I can go do what I truly want without being hindered by someone else. It's so liberating, and you just gotta like laugh at that situation. Like when somebody really thinks that they can go out and find better, let them, you know what I mean? Don't let them come crawling back. Don't let them just think that they can like, oh, let me go test the waters, let me go dip a toe in, let me go dip a dick in. And no, that's not how it works. That is not how it works. And one mantra that I really would love for all of us to start living by, especially when it comes to dating, is if I'm too much, go find less. You know, they think that they're like finding this greener grass, these better pastures, but at the end of the day, they really aren't. And you are not too much. You are not enough. You are enough. I guess let me rephrase that. But just remember that if somebody really thinks that way, this is like prime example. I don't think any time, any place, no excuse would ever excuse someone to actually be allowed back into your life in this specific situation. So watch out for that, ladies. Watch out for that one. Another point that I had for you guys is, especially hard around the holidays, like I said, cuffing season is among us, but the fear of just being alone, being lonely. Like this is one thing where they're bored, they might have nothing else going on. Maybe they're so consumed with like work or like school, whatever they're doing at the moment, they don't even have time to find other potential dates. And then they're just deciding, well, you know, I haven't got anything else to do. Let me hit Sarah up. No, that's not how this works either. Like in the case of like letting somebody back into your life, this is another one that I just don't see this ever being okay. You're just not okay with being alone. You're not okay with being yourself. Meanwhile, a female might be over here. Yes, she's upset, and yes, she might be alone or even fear being alone, but it's very rare that you see somebody just like jumping into a relationship like that or going back to it and it being like an okay thing. It's more of like settling. That's how I want us to kind of look at this situation, is they found nothing else, so they're just gonna like kind of mosey on back into your life because they're alone and they have nothing else going on. And this is probably the most dangerous, especially for us females, because somebody who is in this specific situation and they're afraid of being alone, they have no other options. This is likely somebody who also is just not a very social person, and they may just not have anything going for them. You know, they are very shy, maybe closed off, or maybe just not somebody who has that foresight of like working towards something. This is somebody who probably just is so okay with the status quo that they're just going to, you know, kind of cruise and coast through life and not really have any true goal or something that they're working towards, like something they want to amount to. And, you know, as a female, especially a high value female, we need somebody who has a goal, is working towards that, or at least is stable in their career and they're looking to build. You know, this is somebody who just wants to waste your time and they just want somebody to kind of placehold until maybe they even find somebody better. Maybe they end up falling into that next trap of just searching for where the grass is greener. But you as a high value woman, if you're going to be out here, you know, walking the walk, talking the talk, owning your own shit, like being that down bad person for their significant other. You don't want somebody that's just coming to you out of convenience. You know what I mean? And if they just come back because they don't want to be lonely, they don't want to just like face that empty feeling that loneliness brings. But if you are that person, you kind of know like that connection is not going to be fulfilling in itself. Again, you broke up for a reason, and in this kind of situation, we don't let those kind of things come back into our life. Okay, let's just agree to that right now. All right, number 4. This one, I don't even know if I would allow this kind of person to come back either. This is somebody who maybe the time has come that you feel like things weren't working out, right? And they said, oh, I just don't think it is working out. Let's just kind of like go our separate ways. You know, there might even be some sort of like an outside intervention, something outside of their control where, you know, a job or something has come in between you. Some sort of wedge has been driven between you, and usually end amicably, right? And they've had maybe even some time to reflect or look and see kind of like how life was with you. Well, I just think this is a tricky one because they may or may not have done some soul searching, or life has started clicking in certain ways for them, or bringing you back into like their in their aura and in their space. And this is one where you really have to pay attention to what they're saying and how they're saying it to you before you even consider taking them back. Like I said, this is a tricky one. There might be, like I said, if there is a outside force that's driving you apart, I could see this one kind of working out if you're trying to reconvene and see if you're going to work out in the long run. But you just have to really listen to what they say. What did they miss about you? These are the times that you need to ask those questions. Why do you want to talk to me now? What's changed? What is it that you miss with me? What is it you miss about us? Like, how did our relationship impact you? How did it feel when we weren't together? You have to ask those really hard questions and see how they answer it in a way that even makes it worth your time, if that even makes sense. I really hope that does, because you want somebody who is sure about you, who genuinely missed you, sees and values the contribution that you bring to their life. Like, hello, I am a gift. You need to be expecting that they're going to treat you like a gift. They're not going to be handling you like Waffle House. You know what I mean? They need to be handling you like Cartier. They need to be seeing you as that person. Like, I feel as though you bring color to my life. I'm not saying they need to say that verbatim, but that's the way you need to feel. That somebody truly missed your presence, your contribution, just the little light that you bring to their life in a way where you can feel okay about entertaining that opportunity, bringing them back, right? Number 5. This one, I'm gonna say no to this one, but this is just another reason why a man could potentially come back into your life. they just haven't fully let go. And sometimes, you know, this is tough. Like when they've been holding on to you, this just the idea of you, sometimes people just have have trouble admitting that the chapter has really closed. So, you know, they're just hanging around. They're hoping that, you know, you're going to accept them, that you're going to like rewrite the story together. Maybe just because they see that it may not even be you, but like what they think that you're doing for them, or the connections that you bring, or the friends or family that you have. Like this is a really tricky one in the sense of, what is it that they can't really let go? You have to also be honest with yourself. Like, was this person truly a person that added value to your life as well? Or was it more of like an energy vampire? You know, what if this is somebody who really just thrived on like being around you, the energy, and like I said, the company that you keep, friends, family, work, or, you know, networking connections. You have to look at these situations in a way that makes sense for why they would be coming back. And if they're just saying that they haven't fully let go and they liked all of these benefits of being with you. Another really big one that you just have to listen, like how they talk to you, how they even speak about missing you and the things that they did miss specifically. Like ask those tough questions from the jump, really. And if you're even willing to listen, that's just a tough one. That's a tough one. Just remember that like they may not want to lose you, but they also know what they want beyond like you, in a sense. Like they're in limbo, and they're, rather than facing the reality that things are over, it's like they just try to rekindle things and ruminate over everything. And that's just not some place that you really want to be, because again, this is just somebody who's unable to look past what you had and move past your past together. And that's not somebody who's really going to add very much value to your life, because you want to be looking to the future, baby. You want to be looking at where your next trip is, or what next goal. Maybe you want to buy a house, or you want to buy a boat, like whatever it is that you're trying to do. You just want to make sure you have somebody who's forward thinking, that's going to be goal oriented with you and want to build something together. That's really it at the end of the day. And point number 6, they really just miss the sex, or they just really want to try their luck to see what kind of booty that they can get from you. I'll say it now, and I'll say it a bajillion times. The pussy is always going to be on the pedestal. Like sometimes men just realize that you have something fire, or maybe you're a throat goat, whatever you got going on. It's not even that some guys really want to touch base to start dating you again. Sometimes they just want to try their luck and see if you're willing to give it up. See if you are lonely and bored and you're feeling frisky and you just want somebody to kind of like fill that void. So that's why oftentimes guys be just sliding your DMs or like shooting you those texts, like acting like they miss you and they might want to rekindle something. But at the end of the day, they're really just trying to get some wet. You know what I mean? I recently had, I'm not kidding you, probably like 4 or 5 friends in the past month, because like I said, cuffing season is among us, and like all these exes are just reaching out because they're bored, they're lonely, they're trying to get a little ass. And I don't really see why some of these girls are entertaining it. If you're really the kind of person who, you know, you might be able to just hook up with an ex like that and it means nothing to you, I think you're one of God's favorites. But I'm not even gonna put myself in that category of being able to have sex like that, especially with an ex, because it's like, those feelings and emotions and all of that like attachment that you have, it's all gonna get like busted wide open. Like for me, I cannot in my right mind go back to that without feeling some sort of emotion come up. That being said, like in my younger years, I was still kind of having issues and like a little bit of confusion when it comes to the difference between sex and love and like what feelings and emotions were and like all the stuff that's involved like with sex. But now I know in this like ripe age of 32 that you really don't get one without the other. Like, and I'm looking down on my laptop and it's 777, that's crazy. But whenever you have that sexual, you know, intertwining with someone, that is an energy exchange. And if you've never met someone, it might be a little bit easier, you know, like a little, I don't know, I don't want to say one night stand, I'm not saying you gotta do that, but sometimes it's almost easier to have sex with somebody new in that regard than go back to an ex, because you're going to be stirring up a whole pot of old emotions, old feelings. It's going to, I don't want to say it's going to fuck you up, because it's not going to fuck you up, but mentally and emotionally, it's just going to put you in a really weird space, and you're just going to question a lot of stuff, because we as females, we were graced by biology to release so many things like oxytocin and serotonin, all these really yummy feel-good chemicals that are bonding. And if it's somebody that has either hurt us or left us high and dry, or just decided that we weren't the top tier prize that they wanted and the person that they wanted to take home to mom, that's just it at the end of the day. So I say that now it's time to flip the script, right? We are growing, we are maturing, we are becoming those high value women that we see on all social media platforms, we see them in movies. Like, it is time for us to level up and realize that no high value female woman is going to accept breadcrumbs and no dusties at the end of the day. Don't let nobody crawl back in your life, because the ex was an ex for a reason. If he didn't value you, if he didn't respect you, if he cheated on you, if it's any of these things that led to you guys not working out and like a failed relationship, then take that as a sign that you deserve better. That's what I say you need to frame it as. If it didn't work out, you deserve better. They cheated on you, you deserve better. They weren't willing to make the sacrifices, or they weren't willing to get you the flowers, or whatever it is that you decide are really important to you, you deserve better. That's it at the end of the day. I'm gonna like die on this hill. I had a really good conversation with a friend of mine. She was really torn up. She was really trying to get somebody back, and even though she was trying to get them back, it was more like a personal like thought. We talked about it. I was just trying to see why she wanted to get them back, what was so awesome about them, And the funny thing is, she couldn't quite give me a reason, and they had only been broken up for a couple months. But then of course he slides back in her DMs, because he thinks that he can just do it, and he got it like that, and he could just snap a whip and she'll be coming around the block. And she hesitated before even responding or doing anything, because as soon as she got that text like, hey, how have you been, she reached out to me, and she was like, I don't even know what to do. Like, I know you and I've been talking, and I know what I've been feeling, you know what I want, but I don't even know what to say to this person. And we just had this honest talk of like, well, why do you think he's coming back? And she's like, I don't know, I honestly kind of want to find out. And I'm like, sure, entertain it. So she texts him, you know, they kind of go on this whole thing. She asks him a couple questions, and he just decided like, well, I thought, you know, that maybe I could do something better. I'm sorry, like I just didn't see you for who you are. I just didn't realize all of the things that you do for me, the way you make me feel. Like, he literally just kind of like dumped it all out like that. And she said, I thought of you, Kat, and I immediately blocked him. And I was so fucking proud. Like, you know, somebody who can actually do that, like, pat yourself on the back, baby girl, because that's high value woman 101. If you see and even hear from the horse's mouth that they thought they could do better and they just didn't realize all the things that you're doing for them and the way you made them feel, not contributions to your life, that is the universe at work showing you on a silver platter, this person does not value you. They do not respect you. They don't even see like the awesomeness that you bring to your life. And then that is not it. Like, that is not princess treatment. We are demanding that in 2024 and beyond now, going into 2025 in just a couple weeks. Like, that is what I want for you. You deserve princess treatment. You deserve all the feel good, like spoilings, amazing dinners, just top tier love, and like somebody who respects you, values you, and sees you as the high value woman that I know that you are. So that was pretty much it. I know I haven't done a episode completely by myself in a while, but I'm not gonna lie, it feels pretty good. And I really hope that you guys took away all of these messages in the way that I really hope to serve them to you on a silver platter, because you deserve the very best in the whole wide world. And you know, if you've dealt with this, I feel like so many women have dealt with this. Like, on the monthly, the yearly, somebody somewhere, somebody's dusty ex, that's what I'm trying to say, is they're gonna try to come back into your life, and it is up to you if you're going to allow that back into your life. I gave you 6 solid examples of how like these men try to like just justify or why they left, why they're coming back, and I really only see like a marginal, like little percentage where it's even like okay for you to take them back. And it's like that outside influence, it's like a lot of those other things. But if any signs at all point to them just not visualizing and seeing all this awesomeness that you bring and the sparkle that you just glitter around, like dust it around like fairy dust, then they're not the one for you, sis. Like, let their ass go, because somebody else is gonna settle for those breadcrumbs, but it sure as hell ain't gonna be you. So that's it. Thank you so much for tuning in, you guys. Like I said, if you've dealt with this recently, please hit me up. You know, cupping season, they all come out the woodworks. And I just hope that, you know, you didn't fall for it and you can step away from that and remove yourself and make way for the amazing, awesome person that's also going to be a high value person and partner in your life. So drop us a message on any of my social media handles. It's Kat is Shameless on pretty much every platform. Or you can like leave a comment. You can text me now through Buzzsprout. They have like a text feature. You can leave me messages. I love reading those. But don't forget, like, share this episode with your friends, family, anybody that you think might be dealing with somebody's dusty, drivelet ass son trying to come in your inbox. And just be sure that you subscribe so that you never miss a conversation that helps you level up your life and your relationships. What have you learned? Let me know, slide in my DMs. And I'm so grateful you trust me to be your spicy BFF and that you're taking steps towards bettering your love, romance, and sex life. And as always, stay nasty but classy. Until next time.